Okay, and then I'll give you guys a go. All right. So here we go. And go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, trophy hunters of all ages. This is the 6th episode of the Raw Cuts Gaming Podcast.
Yeah!
Ole!
I'm your host tonight, CJ, aka the Solo Gamer, aka the Trophy Hunter. Tonight, I'm joined by the noob naked man himself, Big D, aka the Naked Gamer.
What's up, everybody?
And this week, we're also joined by, as always, the hot taken, Twitter beef making, gamer extraordinaire himself, Woodsy, aka Mav. Woodsy.
Hey, what's up, dog? I'm glad to see we have our own hype man now. This is fantastic. All you're missing is that clock necklace. Don't worry, I'll hook that up.
We'll get into it, man, but I've missed you guys, man. I need to let this pent up energy of not chatting with you guys for a hot minute. So we thank you, the fine listener, in advance for tuning into the rarest takes in the gaming podcast sphere. As always, we bring you our own unique takes in all things video games, all while recording and publishing our episodes edit-free. We'll be bringing you the podcast via all the listening staples, as always, every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Central Time. So now we're on Apple Podcast services, like I mentioned. So we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on Google, we're on Breaker, we're on Pocket Cast, we're on Radio Public, we're on Anchor.
We don't Thank you, Steve Jobs Ghost, for finally putting that thing together. Eh?
We don't have any beef with Apple. We're not running the Unreal Engine or anything. So we haven't been booted or had our dev kits pulled from them yet. So knock on wood there. So if you don't like listening to us on the podcast services and you want to see our ugly mugs for whatever reason, you can watch the show on our YouTube channel via the Raw Cuts Gaming channel.
Fucking live
right now. Hopefully the homie Ryan's watching us. Shout out Ryan. Shout out the homie Alex. I know he likes to watch us live, so hopefully those guys are watching us live.
And Shaq, dude. What up, Shaq?
You're my boy, shoot, man. Shoot.
Hey, happy Kobe Day. Happy Kobe Day.
8/24. This a little peek behind the curtain. We're recording this on 8/24, the day after Kobe's birthday. The official Kobe Day. First day sans Kobe, so RIP, Mamba. Okay, so this week we'll get into what we've been playing. We'll get into the gaming news, including WB Montreal's new game, Rocksteady dropping that little teaser trailer for us on the Suicide Squad. Then we're going to kind of get into what games we're excited for next gen, a couple thoughts on next gen, and then we might even get to who we are in video games. A little fun segment D put together for us. In the Trophy Hunter section, I'm going to get into Persona and Persona 5 Royale. I kind of teased this a few weeks ago, but I think it's time for me to touch on this now. And Woods, you got any update on your pile of shame?
Oh, no, it's just gross. Oh. It's my favorite meme that is going right now in the video game sphere about your pile of shame. It's tough pills to swallow. It's not a pile of shame. It's just a collection of games you'll never play.
Did it grow while you were on vacation?
No, magically nobody hit the buy button on my PlayStation 4 while I was up in the deep north woods. So I haven't looked at the sales though, and I don't know what's crack-a-lacking between now and Wednesday, but they turn over on Wednesday. So if there's anything good, maybe making a purchase in the next 24 hours.
Oh man, that's
so we'll
nice
see
little tease for next week. And then finally, Big D's got a nice little raw rant for us to go on about some AAA game development. So that being said, noob naked man yourself, Big D, what you been playing, man?
Well, I was also on vacation, so I played yesterday. Ryan and I played some Rocket League and some Fall Guys, and we even fired up Titanfall 2, which every time I fire that bastard up, I love it. I really like that game, and I wish it was in our multiplayer rotation a bit more. It's different with the mechs and all that shit, and it's a lot of fun. I really like Titanfall.
What do you like about Titanfall? I mean, I bought it. I think I bought it for like $2 at one point or something on one of those mega sales, but I haven't booted it up. It's on my pile of shame. What's so good about Titanfall? What separates that game from other ones?
Well, I just personally, I think it's because it's got some of those hero shooter elements where you've got your pilots, and then they've all got all sorts of customizable things, and the guns you can do different attachments for, and then the same goes for your mech, and then that can do different things. And then if you don't want to learn how to use that, you can set it on autopilot, which I do because I'm a little bitch, and the computer does a way better job of killing people with my mech than I do.
Breaking news, everybody. You heard it here first. Big D, little bitch.
Same but different, but still the same.
That's right. Same. So, but yeah. How about you, Woods?
Well, I played a lot of Hide the Jim Beam Down My Gullard. And
hide the sausage.
That's what I was going to say too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to comment on that, but maybe. No, not that. No, but
where did it go?
Didn't do it.
Family doesn't shake hands.
Didn't do a whole lot of video game playing, unfortunately, for this week. At least, I guess I should take that back. I played before I left on Thursday morning for the Northwoods. I played quite a bit of this week. It's my usual FIFA BS, but then a lot of Gran Turismo. I'm in the process of trying to. Well, I have the missions to try to gold out, which I kind of ran into a wall there. I forget what stage of missions. It's the one where it's the first real endurance race where it takes like an hour. And haven't tried to get back and try that one again since I last did it when we were live streaming it the other week. But I've gotten into the track mastering time challenges, which is pretty cool. So each section, they basically take you through each section of a selection of the courses in the game, and basically force you to get good at each section around the entire course, and then make you do an entire lap. But if you get gold on each section and then gold on the lap, they give you a car. So my car collection keeps growing in that game, and I really like it. And it's fun, and I haven't gotten tired of it. And waiting on that Gran Turismo 7 news. So hopefully we get some more news soon about when we're going to get some news, because we don't even know.
We don't even have a news announcement to give us a news announcement.
Exactly. So that'd be nice to hear from Sony and Microsoft, really, about when stuff's going to go down again. But yeah, so well, to D's point too about Titanfall 2, shout out to Titanfall 2. That is an awesome game. In my opinion, the best first-person shooter of this past console generation. So if you haven't given it a go, give it a go. You're foolish if you don't, especially since the entire game is like $4 all the time.
And Dustin said, I actually have to go back and play single player. He said that single player is pretty awesome as well.
It actually is. They did a fantastic job with the story, and they do a couple real cool. So CJ, you're talking about that one. I forget the name of that game. That it's an Xbox exclusive where you live in. It's like the two worlds exist at the same time or whatever.
Yep.
And there's at least one level in Titanfall 2 where something similar happens in L. That's all I'll say, and I don't want to spoil anymore. But it's awesome. So yeah. Let's see, what else have I played? If anything. Going with nope. So yeah, I do owe our fans of Resident Evil play again, and I broke what I said last week, and I was going to try to do it last Tuesday night, so I apologize I didn't get it done. But if I am able to recuperate correctly in the next 24 to 36 hours, then I'm going to try to aim for maybe Wednesday night. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for some tweets about that, and if you would like to participate in the playthrough on your own accord, or just watch me get the bejesus scared out of me in VR, you're welcome to come along and laugh and send me some Depends.
If people want to find your stream, where can they watch that at?
Oh, you can hit it up on Twitch at RawCutsGaming.
Right on. We're gonna try to use that Twitch channel more often, but we're working on it, guys. Thank you.
Yep, and I believe it should let people know when Woods or I are online.
That is true. Yeah, we have we sync that up with our PlayStation 4. So
yeah. So Woods usually broadcasts right to RawCutsGaming.
Yep.
And then I'm on Noob with the _Naked Gamer, but the RawCutsGaming channel should let you know that I'm online also.
Some post action or something, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. So for me this week, I have been playing and finished Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
What? Already? Goddamn, you motherfucker.
You just strapped it on.
I strapped it on and got through that damn game. I think I mentioned it before in the past, I hate first person games. It makes me nauseous. This game wasn't too bad, and maybe I don't get as nauseous as I remember getting, but I just don't like first player action games, like, or any type of first player games. I feel it's super disoriented. I don't know what it is, but so I did push through and beat the game. I did peek at the trophy list. The platinum is quite attainable. I'd have to beat the game probably 2 more times.
Oh, really?
One of which is beating in under 2 hours, which apparently is quite doable, but I have no desire to go back.
Not for me.
No, I beat it. I watched the story content, got that how it all tied in. I won't go into the spoilers. Not that anyone's going to be too spoiled by it.
Did you watch anything on how to beat it in 2 hours? Do you just like keep running, or?
I mean, the game. I think my hours clocked in at about 7 or 8 hours. But I mean, a lot of that game is spent dicking off, like going room to room, finding the key to open the door, to finding the whatever.
You know all the drawers.
So you got to memorize everything.
Yeah, and after you play through, I mean, and you're in, essentially a house. You go to different parts of the house or different areas, but the house, you run around you do a bunch of laps in it essentially, because now I have this key, now I know to go here, and now I have this key to go there.
Yeah.
There's probably an order in which to do things, like
and they have the video online, a tutorial online, and it's like an hour and a half. The dude beats it in, and they said it's pretty attainable, and there's saves and all that jazz. But
and by a key he means a third of an old wooden ship that was bronzed and that you have to insert into its ocean medallion on the door.
wait till you get to one part, Woodsy. I'm curious to see what it's like, because your assessment is not too far off from one section.
It's Resident Evil, so I mean,
it gets gross. I mean, but the house is just like nasty. There's bugs and shit everywhere. It's just like, and they had the jump scares, which I really don't like. I'm a little bitch on that. But I did beat it, so
you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
You're a little bitch too.
A little bitch. I told you the same.
You heard it here first. We're actually changing our name.
Little
this
bitch.
Is the Little Bitch Gaming podcast. The three of us are just a bunch of little bitches.
Hey, you guys have made that admission. I have yet to make. I just said I peed my pants.
Well,
it's for the
you
viewers.
won't say the words, but we'll say
the proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean?
Little bitch.
Okay, so Resident Evil, and the other game I've been playing is I've been watching a lot of hoops. There's 4 games on a day. It's wonderful. Starts at noon, goes till 10:30 at night in NBA. So I've been playing a lot of NBA 2K20. Now,
oh no!
I touched on this earlier. I said I went on a rant last week about how much I hate that you have to get the GOAT level card collector, get 2,900 cards to be the GOAT level collector, and how I hated that they make you buy cards, this and other. Well, that being said, I've tried out my team for the first time ever. And Woodsy, let me tell you, man, this bitch has got me hooked.
It is addicting. That's what the foot money. Fuck, man.
It's got me, dude. So, okay, so let me set this up a little bit. So,
hold on. You've never tried a My Team mode in like Madden, FIFA?
Nope.
None. This is your first My Team mode.
Yep. And the only reason why I'm trying it, and why I'm sure the marketing people did it, is because they gave free shit away. They kept giving free shit away. Free cards, free pink diamonds, free packs of cards. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to keep collecting all this shit. And finally,
I was referring to Ultimate Team? Sorry. Like the shoot with the cards?
Is that what Madden is? Ultimate Team, I think.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
It's the exact same thing.
Okay.
It's NBA
Sorry,
2K20.
I was confused with my team where you take it.
Yeah. No, it's the exact same thing. But yeah, so they're giving me these free packs of cards. I was getting. So then I got a free like GOAT card, which is like the highest level card of Bill Russell. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna try it out. Played it, and I'm like, shit, man, I can customize this team. I can get players from all eras, and I can make the Bucks just 99 overalls of all these players. Fuck yes, count me in. So my team now consists of the Onyx, Allen Iverson 99. That was the first card I bought. You know that was the first card I was gonna buy.
I know you had him.
I got Chris Middleton, Onyx.
Well, you've purchased these now?
Yeah.
Or these are some of those you got free?
So purchase, I haven't spent $1 of my own money.
Okay.
In-game money.
So because they have their own
auction house. They have an auction house where you can bid on cards or buy it now, kind of like eBay kind of thing.
With in-game money.
Yeah, but you can use your own money, real money, to buy in-game money.
More in-game money. It's the same thing in Madden, same thing in FIFA.
Yeah, but I mean, they throw enough ching at you where you can get these like good players. Now the Giannis. So I bought the Allen Iverson card for about $25K in-game money that all earned after playing 10 or 12 games. The Giannis card right now, the same card is going for like $450K. So if you want to get like the Giannis, LeBron, Michael,
you have to grind.
You got to grind, or you got to buy packs and do it that way, like with actual money. But my team is a lot of fun, man. I'm having a lot of fun with that mode, man. Just building up, getting all these classic players.
I'd be curious to know if they had like the old 70s version of Kareem, but
they do
actually called Llewellyn Sender. Is he called Llewellyn Sender?
No, it's Kareem.
It's just Kareem,
but they
for
got
the
it in
Bucks.
his Bucks jersey, yeah. And it's actually a relatively attainable card. It's like $40K for his card. So I've been kind of grinding up my way to get there. But man, I've been having a lot of fun with my team, man. I dogged on it a few weeks ago, or last week, or whatever it was. But
CJ, by the way, nice shirt, homie.
Yeah,
so I really like that shirt.
MKE represent.
Yep.
MKE represent.
Today, our beloved Bucks went up 3-1 against the Magic. So hopefully by the time you're listening to this on maybe if you're listening to it Wednesday, the Bucks are laying the D down on Wednesday also. So
good job, Giannis. I know you're listening.
Thanks for showing up, Chris.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Chris. Welcome to the party, pal.
But yeah, so I've been having a lot of fun with 2K20, man. You kind of tipped me off with the FIFA stuff you've been doing and getting the free cards. It just kind of pushed me to do it. So I did it, and now I'm hooked. So I've been just watching basketball with my old man's in town, my dad. So we got basketball in the background. I just throw up 2K20 on the second monitor and just grind away to get some cards. So yeah.
Can we do a season or something together? We all picked up 2K20.
Yeah, 2K20 was a free game last month. I don't know about season. I've only played the single player. There's multiplayer also. I don't know if there's like
Can we do my team somehow semi together?
I don't know if we can.
Well, you can on FIFA. I don't know about the NBA one yet.
I'd imagine you probably. I mean, they have all these league things. You could do it on Madden, and they have like 2K League. So I'd imagine there should be some way to do it together. But I've been playing a lot of 2K20, man. So if you guys want to hop in,
fuck it, I'll do
that. I might have to put the old solo gamer aside and play with y'all. So.
I won my championship in 2K19 finally after I played every game.
82-0?
Oh, no, I lost a couple. Really in the beginning of the season when I didn't know what the fuck I was doing because I hadn't really played a basketball game on next gen. But eventually I figured it out. I was even showing Woods how I steal the fucking ball all the time. I had Eric Bledsoe that ended up with a league record for steals because he averaged like fucking 8 a game.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear that you're playing that D.
That was good shit.
But yeah, so that's what I've been playing. So let's get into the news, fellas. So this week there was a big DC fandom going on for 24 hours on Saturday. A lot of news going on there, but what I want to touch on here with you guys is WB Montreal finally announced their long rumored game. It's going to be called Gotham Knights. Now this is the same studio that made Arkham Origins. It's not in the Arkham verse. But in this game, you do not get to play as Batman. Did you guys watch the trailer at all or no?
I did.
Did you watch it?
No.
Okay,
But I'm
so
going to right now.
Batman's dead, allegedly. He destroyed the Batcave.
Spoiler alert: he's not going to be dead.
Yeah. But you get to play as Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, and Red Hood.
Nice.
You
So
can
kind of
single
different.
player, but I think it sounds like also you can play as co-op, and I imagine each one you can run with one of the characters. While these watches, what are your thoughts on the gameplay and the idea in general?
So I guess I like what they're doing with it, that you get to kind of play as the Batman cable of Crusaders, as it were. Specifically because it's like, otherwise this would have been your fifth Batman game that is open world in Gotham, kind of samey. And
I'll get into some of that later.
Yeah, it switches up the formula, which I think is cool and a good idea. So now, and you'll have to clarify if I'm wrong or not, because wasn't there like some rumored Suicide Squad thing too? And I don't think I saw anything about that.
Yeah, we'll touch on that one next.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the trailer looked cool. I'm curious to see, kind of like with the Marvel's Avengers game, how different all of the heroes play. I'm actually what I am most curious about with that game is how traversal is going to work, because in the Batman Arkham games, you had your Batmobile, and Batman could effectively fly around the city. So it'll be interesting to see how. I'm pretty sure not all of those characters, I don't know them that thoroughly from the DC universe, but I'm pretty sure they don't have like their powers or abilities or whatever are much different than Batman's were. So how will they be traversing this larger open world? So that'll be interesting.
Well, so as I was watching the trailer, am I getting like it's a detective story kind of too vibe on that, or is that just maybe how it's shot?
I mean, Batman's always kind of this detective-y story.
Right.
I don't know. You're supposedly hunting down the Court of Owls, and I am not super familiar with the Court of Owls.
Yeah,
I've heard great things about. I've heard people that do read comics rave about it. It's one of their favorite comics runs or whatever. But I'd imagine you're trying to track down what happened to Batman, or why he's dead, or where he potentially is if he is dead. So he has this like note that gets pushed out to everyone saying, "Hey, I've died. I've destroyed the Batcave. Good luck." Essentially.
Peace.
So maybe you're trying to track down the Jokers, the clowns. I shouldn't say the Joker. I didn't see the Joker in there, but the people that took down Batman and tried to take back Gotham. So I thought it was pretty cool. Kind of like I think Wood's touched on it. Like I doubt they're not gonna lock off Batman from a Batman game. WB Montreal did catch a lot of flack from Arkham Origins, and that game's always treated like the redheaded stepchild, and no one wants to recognize it as one of the Batman games. That could have been part of the reason why they didn't want to include Batman in their Batman game, and they're out there, and I think it looks fun. I like to play as Red Hood. Each one of the characters has their own, unique move sets, or maybe Batgirl. I'm sure she probably plays most like Batman. But Red Hood could use guns and all this crazy shit.
Yeah, he's basically, is he not the DC equivalent of like Deadshot? I guess Deadshot is the DC equivalent of Deadshot.
Yeah, no, I think I know what you meant, but I think
he's the good guy version of Deadshot.
Yeah,
I think he's kind of Deadpool-y, where he's like. But I don't know that for sure. I mean, you guys can write it and tell me how dumb I am on this, but
that's fine.
But he kind of gets at that anti-hero.
I would just be hoping that they focus.
Spoiler alert! Very dumb.
The detective
dumb
side
and a bitch,
and driving the story versus trying to be a clone on the Arkham games.
Yeah.
Yep.
And or a clone of Spider-Man where you're just doing the same 10 moves.
It'll be
the same guys and shit. Like it just gets repetitive.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So it looks cool. I mean, I'm not going to be an early adopter on that game by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm sure I'll check it out on a game sale when it drops to $30 or something, and
Yeah,
maybe run around Gotham with y'all.
I would. Yeah, I would for sure pick that up on sale.
So the other game that got announced yesterday or over the weekend was Rocksteady's game. Is they already announced it, I guess, with a poster with Superman, the Purple Eyes. We touched on that a previous week, but this one's called Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. I'm a little surprised they went with the name Kill the Justice League because they had the kind of the guts to put kill in their title of games. Sometimes bigger companies, and Dee will touch on it a little bit later with his rant, but tend to shy away from using words like that in their titles. This one, there was not as much gameplay. It was just kind of a stinger. I don't know if you want to check it out, Woodsy.
It's a trailer.
But it goes through and it shows 4 characters you can play as at least. It looks like you have Harley Quinn, King Shark, you have Boomerang, and Deadshot, the guy we just touched on a minute ago. And they're all kind of laying around talking shit to each other on top of a roof. I thought the character models looked pretty good. And then they kind of like do some fighting with some random bad guys. It looks like Brainiac is there, and his big like brain is there with all these tentacles going everywhere, which looks like he's the reason why Superman has those purple eyes. And Superman comes in with his big, kind of floats in and is holding a person up, and they're like, "Oh, Superman saved that pilot." And then they're like, "Well, who are we here to kill?" And then Superman looks like he kills the pilot, and they're like, "Oh, we're here to kill that dude." I thought
Good
the game.
luck.
I thought the game. I thought the game did a better job making you like these characters than Avengers did. Avengers has all these characters everyone's so excited for, but they've caught a lot of flack for the character models and personalities potentially with their game, and the game seems like it doesn't have a whole lot of hype coming up. It's coming out in what, a week or two, a couple weeks here. I'm pretty excited for this. I'm curious to see actual gameplay, to see what you're going to be doing and what it all entails. Did you guys watch the trailer at all, or no?
I did, but I agree with you. There's not much meat to it other than just it's a nicely designed and edited and filmed commercial that doesn't involve the gameplay for the game, which is kind of weird.
I think it's a ways out yet. I mean, which is interesting though, because they've been working on this game for 5 or 6 years at this point. Potentially, I've heard it's been scrapped a few times now. Potentially.
Do we know in what style it is?
I'm guessing a third-person games as a service is what I've heard. Stylistically, I'm guessing it's like a Rocksteady Batman game. Where you kind of run around beating up dudes and using different powers. But I don't know that. I mean, I'm sure you can get new equipment for Harley Quinn, or new outfits for Deadshot and whatnot. But any thoughts you Woodsy on this game at all, or no? I know you kind of touched on it before, but
yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to see. I guess not so much on this game specifically, but now we have 2 different DC games that are more or less will be coming out within a year, maybe 2 of each other, that are team-based, probably team-based games that, you'll have a group of different characters, on one side of the court or other. And then you'll have your Avengers game, which is going to be, I think the plan is there to make that a games of service game and all that. So it's weird that all of these comic book third-person action beat-em-up adventure games are all coming out kind of right around the same time. So that, I think that's my biggest thought of all of this. So it remains obviously be seen which one of these will be the best product over the course of the short term and the long term. So I don't have a lot of loyalty one way or the other, whether Marvel versus or DC. As far as like my comic book fandom is concerned, I'm like, is the content good? If it's good, great. If it's not good, don't care. So doesn't affect me either way. So it'll just be interesting to see how each of these games, how much they actually end up differing from each other, and then how well the studios behind them execute the final product.
Yeah, it's gonna be curious to see what the support's like. One of the things we don't have here, but I think Avengers announced that there's like 15, some data miners, there's like 15 some odd characters that they're going to be trying to support that game with, adding in after the fact.
Sure.
A lot of which sound cool. Doctor Strange and Black Panther, a bunch of other ones. Yeah, War Machine. Yeah. So, but if the game comes out and flops, I mean, how many of those characters actually come to life? So, I guess it all kind of depends on how well the game's supported, and how much people buy off on it. So, yeah. So that being said, D, what game are you looking forward to most in the next gen?
Let's see. I had two. I'm going to go Gran Turismo 7 because unlike Woods, I downloaded Gran Turismo Sport and then was extremely pissed off at myself for buying it because they took out all of the fun parts that I remember from GT 3, 4, 5 back in the day, where you took your 1992 Nissan Sentra and you put a turbocharger in it and you started winning some races. I was pretty disappointed with that.
Yeah, it doesn't have any of the quote unquote car PG aspects that the old ones do.
Yeah, and at least in a former life, I really liked the gearhead part of it, which was nice that it kind of stuck in the realism area where, your 1992 Nissan Sentra, you can only do so much shit to before you need to, change the engine, or, you've got caps on stuff that were realistic. And I
really have a Nissan Sentra anymore because fuck the Nissan Sentra.
Hey, I'm just saying, it was cool. Like I used to find my shitty ass cars that I drove around and put turbos and shit in them. It was fun. Yeah, like your fucking Buick Regal, right? Like there's just so many weird cars you could go buy. But yeah, GTA 7 definitely, and then I just threw GTA 6 in there just because. Give me another single player Grand Theft Auto, because 5 was amazing. I loved San Andreas and particularly Vice City, like back in the day, right? Just all good things. We all grew up with, 3 in Vice City and then San Andreas later, and and then 5 was just, it was amazing. The triple storyline and everything.
When do you think they're going to come out with 6? I know 5 is being resupported after launch, so it sounds like they're going to have another fresh coat of paint on this PlayStation 3 game, not with the online, obviously. But how long do you think it's going to be? Because it sounds like Red Dead Redemption 2's online is DOA right now. They're having all sorts of problems.
Are they?
Yeah,
I've heard that. Yeah.
They've had a patch came out where that you couldn't shoot anything, and the horses were just like you couldn't mount your horse or something crazy, and it's just not taking off the same way that GTA 5. Yeah, I mean you can't do all the cool stuff like casino. Well, you can, but like all the cool cars and planes and all that shit you can do in GTA 6 or 5. But
I hope they do something cool. And obviously I don't think a year out or even 2 is unreasonable. Might be closer to 2, but I would hope that they're working on something. I would think that they're also working on a way to bridge what will be GTA 6 online with the existing online without doing something dumb like what you ended up with in like Destiny and all that shit, where it's like, yeah, no, you don't, or here's your account with your couple of in-game dollars that we're going to bring over, but that's
thanks for playing. Right. Yeah, the old one. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Welcome, returning player. Here's some credit for the hundreds of dollars you spent. Yeah, and hours you spent in this game building your empire, right? So I really hope that they figure something out where if you're playing 6, like I still have all my properties and I'm on the same map with the guys in 5. Like there's plenty of time to figure all that kind of shit out where they can kind of be the first to do something like that, where the people playing 5 can play with the people playing with 6, and the online community is kind of the same up here, but then you end up with that new single player experience on 6, and maybe the 6 multiplayer is way bigger and shit too, but I can go visit the GTA 5.
I go and have it be a different city or something, and you
can
go from like Boston have it be in Boston and go to New York or whatever.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
So
Well,
that's me.
yeah. Okay. For what I've heard about that game, like the big rumors are like they're bringing back Miami somehow,
Nice.
and then some Latin American countries also going to be involved because it's predominantly going to be about, shockingly enough, drug running.
What?
Weird.
Oh man, that is risky.
So, yeah, that'd be interesting, especially if they're gonna like. I am too curious about that, as I don't think they have plans to abandon the GTA Online, especially the community,
and they
anytime
shouldn't.
soon. At some point, though, I'm sure you will have to buy maybe the new version of something, just like you kind of did when they finally said we're going to cut the cord on the PS3 and Xbox 360 version.
That's
Just
reasonable.
because, yeah. But
Because
yeah,
the thing
we'll
is, like with my idea, if you cross those maps over with the people with 6 and 5, obviously graphically you're stuck at 5 online, and so
Right.
PS4 you're stuck at those levels, GTA
Right.
5 levels. But it's super reasonable that after maybe if this comes out in 18 months or 2 years, that you'd get another maybe 2 to 3 years of that runway, which is pretty damn nice runway for GTA 5 multiplayer online, to finally be like, nope, we're upgrading that map to GTA 6 and PS5 levels / Xbox X and blah, blah, blah. But, like, now you're done. And I don't think that's unreasonable.
Well, if you can play with the players from 6 and you can see all the cool shit that they're bringing into your world, would be a good way to. I mean, not that GTA really needs any help selling copies, but
cross promotion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to for the next gen?
So, GT7 is really the number one right now, but I always like shiny new graphics are always great, but I like new in-game engine physics models more than anything else, and that's why, like, people want to bitch about stripped features in Madden from generational transition, so on and so forth. And those are legitimate gripes. I'm not disputing that, but the physics engines get better with race car games, with sports games, so on and so forth, all the way across the board. So it's cool to see that gameplay kind of continually get better and evolve from just a purely what does the game feel like perspective. Things are always a little bit smoother. AI is typically a little bit better. So on and so forth. I'm always looking forward to another new Ace Combat game. I'd be curious to know, if is Sony going to bring back SOCOM? Is Ubisoft finally going to bring back Splinter Cell? Both I would like to see occur. And then, these are all franchises that we like, and I'd like to see. I'd be curious to see what. Oh, good gosh, what is their name?
I'd like to see another Dead Space.
What's the name of a big publishing house that, like, THQ, where they were THQ Nordic, and then are they still technically THQ Nordic or something?
THQ Nordic, yeah.
Okay, so they've been buying up all these, like, old properties. Like, is somebody gonna bust out? Are they gonna bust out Time Splitters again? Maybe, maybe not. So that'd be pretty cool. But I'm always excited for the X Factors that we currently have no idea about too. Because being able to continue on with a game series that you like or some characters that you like is always good. But you need new blood. You need new blood.
New IPs.
Yep, and it'd be cool to even see some of the newer IPs from this generation get a sequel. Like, could they make a proper sequel out of Days Gone? Obviously, we know Spider-Man is going to come, but some of these other newer games, and see where they can go, and then what as CJ you had touched on, what they can do new in these new games because of the new and enhanced processing power and the solid state hard drives, and how will the overall gameplay change? How will the new haptic, I can't ever pronounce that damn word.
Haptic.
Haptic. Boo, 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 boo.
Soundboard drop. Come on.
Soundboard drop.
My wiener's getting big.
How will that, like, will that be cool? So on and so forth. There's that just hype over some technology that'll ultimately just be kind of meh. So we'll see. Yeah, how about you, Siege?
Well, I'm excited for Demon Souls. I'm the big Souls fan, but Demon Souls is a game that I've played and beaten already, so I kind of know what to expect there. I'm excited for the new graphics and see what the new engines all have to hold. But the game I am most excited for, I've touched on it twice already, is Hitman 3. And
Whoa.
I want to touch on it again because a new trailer dropped this week. Did you guys get a chance to watch the new Hitman trailer?
No.
So I
heard about it, but it's
I put
one of the levels, right?
I put 2 links in the document. I wish I would put this, and this is one of the coolest trailers I've seen for a video game. So let me set the table for you guys who haven't seen. It takes place in England. It takes place at this manor of sorts. It's this big complex, and it is a literal murder mystery. So they set it up with, it says, hey, the woman's talking, who always gives you like your directives, AGM-47. It says, hey, there's been a murder, or there's been a death in this house. It was ruled a suicide. The man died in a it's Victorian style castle or place or whatever. So he died in his room. The door was locked from the inside, and the family, the extended family, the grandmas and the cousins and the uncles and all that shit are all attending the house. So have you guys seen the movie Knives Out at all?
No. But
Knives Out is a similar concept where like everyone's trying to get the money or whatever. So you play as Agent 47, but you're walking up to this house as a detective trying to solve the mystery. So they show various cutscenes of like you can get into rooms and you hear like the grandma bickering or hear someone saying like, I can't believe you did this or that or the other. And it's a literal murder mystery game.
That's an interesting new take on the Hitman game.
So
usually
it's
the
like
whodunit for a Hitman game is Hitman.
You.
Yeah. So it's like, you guys have seen Clue, right? So it's a similar concept to Clue, but this is like the ultra rich. So you're going through this house and everything is like immaculately decorated and everything. And it is such a cool concept for a Hitman level. And man, Hitman 1 hit all these cool levels. Hitman 2 up to the ante, and Hitman 3 we saw Dubai, and now they're going to England for this murder mystery, a literal murder mystery, man. So, which you can also play in VR in first person, which we've touched on before. And they showed some of the cool stuff, like you can blind shoot around corners, and you can like reach your arm around a corner and shoot blindly, or
that's how I like to do it.
So I'm kind of shocked that you didn't, given your Souls love, didn't mention Elden Ring.
Yeah, that's a great point. I would love to mention it, and maybe we can touch on it here in a little bit. But I know nothing about this game, so I'm excited.
You and everybody else.
But man, I mean, even with Demon Souls, just this Hitman game is just taking up all my mind share right now. I'm so excited for this damn game. So I will be an early adopter on that game, like you said last time we talked about Bolt with Your Wallet. I am excited for that game too. So yeah. So, that being said, and you kind of touched on, I don't know nothing about Elden Ring. We know little to nothing about the next generation of consoles. We don't know release dates. Those are starting to leak a little bit. We're learning about prices a little bit. What do you guys think about price and release date? What do you think the price and release dates are going to be? What have you been hearing?
Well, Twitter rumors are Twitter rumors, right? At the end of the day. But the one I know I shared with y'all over the weekend or whatever was insinuated that both the Series X and the PS5 disc version of the console are coming in at $500, and the all digital PS5 and the Series S are coming in at $400, which, if that's the case,
Dancing funeral.
Yeah, it's not going to be good for Microsoft. That fucking little white box that looks like a GameCube might as well not even exist if they're going to try to hawk that bitch for $400. Fuck that. That is dumber than fucking shit. I could not. Granted, it's just like I said, just a stupid Twitter rumor. But if in fact if it played, but if that's what actually played out, that would be some really dumb shit. And then, when your PlayStation 5 is literally the same price, at least the old digital PlayStation 5 is the same price as the old digital midget version of the Series X, it's not going to end well for Microsoft.
Especially since they don't have any games to go with it.
Right. except for the one that CJ was talking about, which, that'll be new IP and that looks interesting, but that's not going to sell.
Console?
It's not going to sell any consoles.
Because at that point you're going to need to buy two. Because to your point, you're going to buy the PS5 anyway,
right?
And then you have to spend more to go get an Xbox later when they actually drop something worth having.
Well, then you just end up buying Game Pass and playing it on a PC or on something else. So
I think they run into that problem and they end up justifying their own exit out of hardware.
Yeah, but just to keep focus on the hardware side, who knows? I don't see Sony going up to $600. I don't see Microsoft going up to $600 because if either one of them does that,
so Alana Pierce dropped a little nugget on the Kind of Funny Xcast, and she said that, someone sent her a message, and this is just, same thing as Twitter rumors, but she thought enough of it to say that someone sent her a message of a screenshot of someone's internal system saying that the Xbox Series X is going to go for $600. And if they come in at $600, even no matter how hard they pound the table for this is the best thing since the most powerful thing since the frickin' spaceship, that thing's not going to sell for shit.
Right. The most powerful Craig machine.
Right.
Exactly. I think they're both going to come in at $500 for the Series X and the disc, PlayStation 5. And I think the PlayStation, discless is going to be $400. And I think the Series S is going to try to make up their ground and put it in at $300. And hope they can get people to bite off on that. November, we've heard November 6th or whatever that Friday is, or that first week in November. And I think the PlayStation will drop the week after that. But you guys, it's Kobe Day in 2020. 2 new consoles are coming out, and we have not seen their at least the PlayStation, the operating system, the store, the price, the date.
And it's just weird.
And now it's so weird. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous now. Because now it's starting to look like they're not prepared to launch like we discussed the other week.
And let's be real too. There are persons with means who are fortunate enough to have the means, especially in a year such as this, where you have a lot of people who have job losses due to the economics that's transpired because of COVID-19, so on and so forth. And there's a lot of parents out there who start to budget for Christmas in the middle of summer, and even my mom would be doing a lot of her Christmas shopping in the early fall, late summer, just like clothes or whatever the fuck else, right? And so, yeah, sure, maybe not all these people would otherwise be early adopters anyways, but some of them are going to be because their kid wants the new PlayStation and they're going to get their kid what they want come hell or high water. And these parents and other folks and even teenagers whose parents may not buy them their shit, and hopefully they don't, make your own damn money, but get a paper out like I had, you gotta have a number to aim for, and it's so silly at this goddamn juncture.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it almost seems like something's wrong or something. Like it's always possible at large corporate companies that everyone in the top 12 seats is really stupid. We'll just take that. But like, I'm with you guys, man. It's September. We don't know shit. Like it's getting ridiculous at this point, and something smells wrong. Like, and I don't know. I wrote on our doc that one of my concerns was always storage. Like, are they going and running numbers on this again and having the same fucking math problems that we were all having?
Yeah, we bitch about Call of Duty, and they're like,
gigs. So that takes up half my hard drive. Now what?
They're not even going to be able to fit the new Call of Duty on the game.
Right. And right now, your USB SSDs, they only do 1 or 2 tera, right? So your options for not experiencing performance loss expanding your hard drive is going to be a whole thing. Like I touched on a little, but basically you're looking at some sort of RAID setup to get enough spinning disks to get anything for performance over USB. So now you're spending $1,000 on a RAID thing to put on your PlayStation because they didn't give you enough storage. Like, I just wonder if they're running into something like that.
Well, I mean, storage would be the one thing. Storage capacity on their hard drives would be really the only thing they could easily change at this juncture in the time frame. But I would kind of doubt that any of that would change at this point in time, because they have to. At the end of the day, the manufacturing of these consoles has already begun,
right.
And
yeah, it's going to be what it's going to be.
Right. So you're far too late in the game to make any sort of dramatic changes like that. But yeah, just it's the silliest dick measuring contest that has ever existed.
See, they're both chicken. Neither of them want to announce their price, and you know why they don't want to announce their price is because it's going to be bad news. I mean, maybe they will try to run up to $600 and say, "Fuck it, if you want to get this new console, come up to our level." $599 is a bad stain on PlayStation 3, so maybe they won't go that high. But I think there's a reason why they're not announcing their price, and it might be higher than all of us think it might be. I'm still sticking to the $500 for both, but I guess we'll see. But no, for the positive side of things, what are you guys looking forward to in the next gen of consoles? For me, I am stoked for the load times, man. I have 2 small kids. I have very limited gaming time, and I play a lot of single player games. I die, like I said, I suck at games. I die all the time in games, and it sucks going back through that loading screen time and time again. And if I can boot it up right away and be right back in it, or if I'm playing Fall Guys and I inevitably be eliminated after the first round, I can loop right back in again and die again.
Play another game for 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to for the next gen?
Same here, man. I'm super excited for NVMe and SSD to be in these things. As someone who noticed that they only used that really slow speed USB to expand that thing on the PS4 instead of going with the next standard up that already existed, right? They kind of shot themselves in the foot, but I'm excited for that SSD and shit. I'm excited for the second gen of VR. Definitely excited to see what they did for no wires and an actual decent headset you put on.
Release date, right? Day and date.
Release day and date for that, which I think that might be why PlayStation's also waiting. Like they're going to announce that PSVR 2.
They've heard about our bet, right?
Right. PlayStation really cares about me personally. No, and all the new games, and then eventually how they take advantage of the CPU and the graphics and everything, as they always do, like mid-cycle, when that first round of games, like be it GTA 6 or whatever, first come out, and they've been working on the engines and shit that we're going to run on that hardware for a few years, and it all looks, insane. Like I'm really excited for that. But you would.
You know, I'm excited for basically everything you guys already mentioned. But then also, like I touched on earlier, like obviously with new machines, you know, comes better processing, more, you know, RAM memory, so on and so forth. So I'll be excited to see how that again allows developers to either enhance their already existing in-game engines, or you know, create brand new ones from the ground up that take advantage of the better performance of the new machines. Because basically, like at the end of the day, graphics are awesome. You know, higher frames per second are cool. New textures are awesome, but if the games play better through and through, and like, I mean that's part of the reason. Like, I guess I've really enjoyed playing Gran Turismo is, you know, say what you want about some of the lack of features of GT Sport, it's by far the best Gran Turismo they've come out with as far as how everything feels and handles. From every car feels different, and in my opinion, it's never been more pronounced in a simulation racing game than it is in GT Sport. So that sort of stuff is only going to get refined more and more and more, and I think that's pretty cool. And you know, one other thing I'd be curious to see, I guess, what happens in this new generational transition that nobody's touched on yet is how are we going to, or how is PlayStation and Xbox, especially PlayStation, how are they going to fix / make whole their digital content catalog, and how are they going to, you know, carrying? Okay, so maybe everybody's not going to get everything they want, you know, from the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3 going into the PlayStation 5 or whatever the case is, but I have to imagine they're going to set this up so that when the PlayStation 6 comes around, how many ever years from now, that this sort of transition is not going to be an issue again. So I'm just curious about that as well.
So I heard an interesting thing on one of the podcasts I listened to where they were saying that, like, you know, certain games are going to have you know, different prices for the PS4 or the PS5 version of games. You know, what was it? Far Cry 6 or something is going to be $50 for the PS4 version, $60 for the PS5 version. You can get a free upgrade if you buy the PS4 version. I heard an interesting thing come out, or a rumor was that there could be some locking off of the PlayStation 4 store on the PlayStation 5, where they may try to prevent you from buying the PlayStation 4 versions of games. They may try
the games that are offering the free upgrades.
Yeah, and they can try to say it's like, you know, hey, we want you to have the best version of this game, but they may discount games, and it's just this whole backwards compatibility thing is just still so confusing to me, and I wish they'd give more clarity as to what it is. Even, you know,
it's a waiter at the ankles for this at this point.
Oh, and so speaking of, you know, backwards and forwards compatibility, one thing we didn't touch on news-wise, which is, you know, again, it goes to the same issue. It's a game I'm really dying to get my hands on, but I'm not going to buy it until I know I'm not going to have to either. I want to know, is there going to be a new, better, super awesome version coming out, or isn't there? But I'm going to be able to do Ghost of Tsushima co-op multiplayer.
Oh,
I want to fucking do that. I really want to fucking do that. But I have to know. Fucking tell me. Just fucking tell me. Stop working on D's fucking PlayStation VR 2. I'm going to win the bet. You know, cocksuckers. Just fucking tell me what's going on.
You know, they say that certain games are going to be available after launch, you know, and I want to know
Not that there's anything bad with cocksuckers.
Take it back. It's a positive term. It's empowering. Suck that cock.
You suck it good too.
Things like Steam and stuff, you can play whatever, and it'll just play up to whatever specs you have, right? And if you have these super PlayStation 5 end specs, it's going to play the game awesome. And if you have the PlayStation 4 base, it's going to suck. And if you have the in between the Pro, it's going to be a little bit better. And then in the middle. So why can't they come out and just say that? And I feel like I keep coming back to this feeling of like it's because it's bad news. And I want to know, what can I value in my catalog? Xbox is trying their best to come out and say you can play your games wherever and your whole catalog's available. And to their credit, it is. Against them, though, there's just no games to play over there. So,
going back to the point we made at the very beginning of the show, it's even doubly frustrating because we don't even have the news on when we're going to get the new news. What the fuck? Nobody has a clue when the next big PlayStation 5 Summit video presentation thing is going to be. Nobody has a clue when the next Xbox Series X and S event is going to be. Nobody fucking knows.
It is almost as if
Labor Day is going to be
gearing up
2 weeks.
to blame COVID.
So, yeah.
That's the announcement you're going to get in October.
Right.
Oh, weird. It's going to launch next summer.
Yeah. Enjoy your brand new consoles coming this St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
With no games because everything's punted till February.
Right.
Till fall. It's I need to get some announcements. Now is it opening night or Gamescom or something is this upcoming or is this week or something? So hopefully maybe there's something there. I mean, I'm grasping at straws right now, but
but I guess I don't recall Gamescom ever. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think PlayStation or Microsoft is going to show any of their cards at Gamescom. At most, it'll be about maybe you'll get some more tidbits on some new games that are coming out, but I doubt any brand new spanking reveals are going to happen at Gamescom. If anything, it'll be expansions on what people already know.
PlayStation's doing these weird drops through like Wired and all these like random drops. So maybe let's do a random like price drop and say, hey, it's going to be $500. Deal with it, or whatever. I'd be happy with $500. I'm ready
with the meme.
The glasses that come down. Yeah. Like Mark Cerny's face. And none of your games are backwards compatible. Sorry, we lied. It's
sorry.
We're sorry. Mark Cerny
I mentioned on
rug in front of a fireplace.
I think I mentioned on episode 1, back before the PlayStation 4 era, I wasn't, into games like I am now. So this is my first real console launch. I bought PlayStation 4, the while after. I bought all my consoles a while after the fact. So I've been pretty excited for this console launch, and I don't know shit about it. So I'm anxious to find out.
It's really frustrating. It's so frustrating, and I know we keep bitching about it, and I kind of apologize for that, but I feel like everybody's frustrated. Everybody's frustrated because everybody's in the same boat right now. If you're an avid gamer and you're excited about the new shit, and we're getting dicked around at this juncture, and it just sucks. It just sucks.
And we're all at home.
I want you to treat me like
we're all at home waiting for a new console.
I want you to treat me like a lady. I feel like right now I'm being treated like the drunk girl at the bar at around 1:30.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
And, I'm going to close the deal, but let's just at least give me some dignity and respect along the way. Okay? Come on.
Well, with that, your dignity and respect, or lack thereof, I think we can wrap this show up. I think we're going to skip the Raw rant for this week. We'll get into it next week about our thoughts on these AAA games and what we want more. And I'll also punt on Persona 5 again. I'll keep teasing this game and keep leading you guys on. But Woods' dignity and respect it's just such a strong ending point for this week's show.
Having never had any in the first place. Oh, wait. I'm sorry, I didn't read it in time. That was a spoiler for next week.
Oh. And I'm not going to gain anymore when I piss my pants streaming Resident Evil in VR. So
don't blame it on
perfect,
Resident
Woods.
Evil.
So
right.
Resident Evil 7. Look out for us online on Wednesday, April. Man, I am on the ropes right now.
April, May, June, July, August.
It's all
September.
one big. It's what month is it? August 26th.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
We'll hopefully be on. Hopefully the Bucks will have always been closing the deal the Tuesday, and we'll be on Gaming Wednesday for some Resident Evil 7 VR. Otherwise, D, if people want to find and get a hold of you, where can they find you at?
Matt Noob_Naked Gamer on the Twitches, and I'm at NakedGamer84 on Twitters, and always follow RawCutsGaming on both Twitch and Twitters, and also YouTube.
RawCutsGaming, one handle to unite them all. Woodsy, where can people find you pissing your pants or doing hot takes?
On my Insta, no.
Did that for the gram.
Did it for the gram. No, I'm at Woods_or_Wads with a Z at Twitter. So hit me up, and we'll see you Wednesday.
So if you're looking for me, you can get a hold of me on Twitter at CJ Reindl. I won't be streaming much, but maybe once in a while I'll pop on to pop some trophies or something. And
we're going to force them to record it offline.
And CJ, what's your Twitter? I'm sorry, what's your Twitter handle again?
At
it doesn't matter.
Twitter
handle it.
Woodsy, can you do the sound drop of the hate for me, please? Hate. Okay, so.
We gotta go fill up what's his mama's dish.
With all that pee, hate, and love here we got here, that concludes the 6th episode of the Raw Cuts Gaming podcast. Thank you, the listener, for putting up with us bitching about not knowing when the next consoles are coming out and what we want to see in the next generation of consoles, and all these crazy superhero games that are coming out. Also, you can find us, with our bad dad jokes and rare takes and all things uncut in video games. We hope you enjoyed the show this week. If you don't, write into us at RawCutsGaming, like Dee mentioned on earlier, or email us if you want to email us. But please don't email us because none of us monitor that account.
Ain't nobody checking that shit.
Actually, I'll get better at it. So we do need some write-ins. So holla at your boy.
Write-ins. If you want to hear a segment, you want to hear a segment for us to skip. We gladly skip your segment. We skip our own segments all the time.
I would love to have a fan write-in segment that we also skip every week.
Shout out to our loyal listener, Ryan. What up, McNutty? Right into us, man. Let us know what you want to hear us hit on. Beast Mode USA, Alex. Right into us. Let us know what you want to hear on. Or any one of your listeners. If you want to shout out, let us know. And Ben, I don't know if you know who we are, or maybe you've blocked us on PSN already, but shout out to you for dragging my fool friends along in Diablo 3. So, with that, it closes the episode, and we will see you guys next week.
Stay chill. Dudes, I had the TV on in the background, and they're releasing the live movie version of Mulan.
$30.
On Disney Plus here pretty quick, which looks super badass.
It's $30 to rent.
What? $30 to rent?
Wait a little bit on that shit.
$30 to rent with
all the direct-to-home movies are
on top of your Disney Plus
subscription. Like theater. Yeah, they're gonna do that.
They just assume you're gonna watch it with at least three other persons in your family, and so therefore
make up their money somehow. So I think other movies came out like
honestly,
$20.
If you had a couple people over, the $30, it's better than we do for pay-per-views,
right?
It's a similar concept what ESPN does with their fights. With the ESPN, you have to have the ESPN Plus subscription, and then they make you buy the UFC shit. $30.
Oh my god!
Mickey Mouse come out just dick swinging.
Yeah, so let's encourage social gatherings at people's houses because you can't go to fucking movie theaters.
We at Raw Cuts Gaming support the right to pretend like nothing's happening.
Right.
Hey,
just sit on your friend's lap.
We tried to social distance, but Mulan was way too expensive, and I made Woods pay $5, so his kids come over and watch Mulan.
Yeah.
I needed to split that $30 with Woods.
Oh, He's a bitch.
All right.
Dude, y'all, I got the new car this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So fucking nice to have like a semi-respectable car. Like I mean, you guys have known me. Like you saw the Oldsmobile, you saw the Fusion.
Sorry, stop recording and post.
Oh.
That I can download that shit. Go ahead, CJ.
Right on.
Can you just stop
You
recording?
loving it.
Do we have to hop off the call, or can you just stop?